see it on the lateral, unless that's it here. Otherwise, it looks pretty normal X-ray.
Just to back them up and let them know that we do love. As far as I'm concerned, they are killing me. You know?
So we go in carrying out as my
Soft voice. You know, the real world out there is presented as the people of the area.
Tend to live a very long and full life.
The difficulty we're having in Los Angeles is that we have these new treatments, which is very thrilling, but we don't have a way to deliver them to many of the thousands of people who are infected with HIV in Los Angeles. We have a large number of uninsured in Los Angeles, particularly poor people, people of color, and the treatments are very expensive. The cost of treatment has skyrocketed at a time of dwindling resources.
Each and every one of you, I'm sure, as I have held the hands of someone who did not have access to services. This has got to stop.
And a lot of them come from minority groups, come from very low income. They ain't got the fun.
about services in the valley. I think we need to gently remind him of that. That's not good health policy. And so we go in carrying out, as my old friend Teresa said.
And our organization, AIDS Healthcare Foundation, is making representation at the Democratic Convention saying, you know, we need to supply this therapy to young people. And when you compare the expense of it, I mean, it takes about $100,000 a year to provide factor VIII to keep a hemophiliac well. Nobody would debate whether or not we should use that or do it. And yet, we're talking about a young person with HIV infection who may develop AIDS and die in 5 years, and yet we can stop that, maybe extend it 10, 20 years with these therapies. It seems that we just have to do it.
So we're here for them to hear our voices. So what's going to happen is that we're going to ask any of you who...
Well, if my life were dependent on these drugs, these new protease inhibitors that are available now, I wouldn't be able to afford them at the price they are.
It's totally, absolutely impossible. I don't even make that income during the whole year.
You know, I pray to God that it's a cure or somewhere close to a cure. You know. But if we still do not put more money into the AIDS healthcare issue, we still won't be able to find that out.
Derek never gave me the ones that you wanted it, the way you wanted it to look
Correct,
like.
correct.
But
Are they still meeting?
from 4 o'clock, I doubt it. He was going to...
These drugs that we're having difficulty supplying in the West are just simply not available at all in Africa and in many parts of Asia. And one despairs, you know. There are people in those countries, though, dying by the thousands of tuberculosis, which is a completely curable disease. I think when we think about the third world, what we have to think about is a vaccine. And unfortunately, there's not nearly enough work or progress being done in AIDS vaccine research.
On the impact of AIDS on minority communities, and we found it was just devastating. Bad though AIDS may be, its effect upon, he's concerned about services in the valley. I think we need to gently